Hello, welcome, and a Merry Christmas. This is the news update on NTA International, reaching you live from Abuja, Nigeria's capital. My name is Justin Bemui, and my sign language interpreter is Taiwo Uzoma. Well, let's begin with the headlines. Pope Leo XIV calls on global leaders to end hostilities, seeks help for vulnerables at Christmas. Nigerian clerics preach peace and tolerance, urges leaders to govern with fear of God. And JTF fingers Boko Haram suicide bomber in Maiduguri market explosion. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Now, Pope Leo XIV has appealed to the world to recognize the urgent need to extend a helping hand to the poor, the needy, and especially the victims of war and natural disasters. In his first Christmas address, delivered before an audience of more than 20,000 faithful, the pontiff called for an immediate ceasefire and truce in countries afflicted by conflict. Musa Babali reports.
This is Pope Leo XIV arriving at the St. Peter's Basilica for his first Christmas celebration since his election in May 2025. As he drove to the square, more than 26,000 visitors and worshippers waved and cheered him while he blessed them. Now, it is time for the Obi et Obi address as the Pope appears on the balcony to deliver his message. Pope Leo called for kindness to strangers, stating that refusing to help those in need is tantamount to rejecting God himself. The Pope urged Russia and Ukraine to find the courage to hold direct talks and spoke of the direct humanitarian situation in Gaza. Let us pray in a particular way for the tormented people of Ukraine, he said. He called for solidarity and acceptance of those in need in Europe, referring to growing anti-immigration sentiment on the continent. For Thailand and Cambodia, where border fighting is in its third week with at least 80 killed, Leo asked that the nation's ancient friendship be restored to work towards reconciliation and peace. Musa Baba Aliyu, NTA News.
And now from war-scarred cities and disaster-hit communities to royal traditions and festive celebrations, Christians around the world marked Christmas with prayers of hope, resilience, and unity. Christmas dawned quietly in the ancient city of Antakya, Turkey, where believers gathered inside the historic St. Pierre Cave Church, still standing after the devastating earthquakes of February 2023. With many churches destroyed, the faithful came together in any space available, determined to keep their traditions alive. From Turkey, the story of resilience continued in the Holy Land. At the Holy Family Church, Palestinian Christians celebrated Christmas Mass in a calmer atmosphere than last year, after war and displacement forced many to stay away. For worshippers, simply being able to return to church marked a moment of relief and renewal. Nearby in Bethlehem, the birthplace of Jesus, streets lit up once again as the city celebrated its first festive Christmas in 2 years, emerging from the shadow of the Gaza war. City leaders described the occasion as a message of hope for a community determined to endure. In Iraq, Christmas Eve prayers echoed through the great church of the Immaculate Conception of Karakosh, as worshippers gathered to mark the holiday in a town once devastated by conflict, now slowly rebuilding its spiritual life. Further north in Damascus, Syrian Christians filled the old city with parades, Santa hats, and church services, celebrating Christmas alongside messages of coexistence and renewed stability. In Kenya, thousands of worshippers gathered for a unique Christmas Eve vigil as members of the Legio Maria Church celebrated the birth of Jesus through distinctive prayers, music and rituals rooted in African traditions. Meanwhile, in Indonesia, faith met resilience as villagers in flood-ravaged areas of Sumatra held Christmas Mass inside damaged churches, surrounded by debris. Survivors said the celebration renewed their gratitude for life after weeks of devastation. In Britain, tradition took center stage as King Charles III and the royal family attended Christmas morning service at Sandringham, greeting well-wishers in a ceremony watched by millions. And finally, ending the season on a lighter note, even animals joined the festivities. At Whipsnade Zoo in southern England, keepers treated animals to festive meals and scented crackers, bringing smiles and a touch of holiday cheer to visitors. From hardship to hope, and from solemn prayer to joyful celebration, Christmas once again united communities across the world. Now, in his annual Christmas Day broadcast, King Charles III urged people worldwide to embrace compassion and reconciliation during a time of deepening division and uncertainty. Speaking from the historic Lady Chapel in Westminster Abbey, central London, the 77-year-old monarch described that life as a shared pilgrimage and highlighted how people of different faiths share a common desire for peace. He emphasized finding strength in community diversity to ensure right triumphs over wrong.
Of course, the greatest pilgrimage of all is the journey we celebrate today, the story of the one who came down to earth from heaven, whose shelter was a stable, and who shared his life with the poor and lowly. It was a pilgrimage with a purpose, heralded by angels, that there should be peace on earth.
Now, Charles also spoke of resilience, forgiveness, and the importance of getting to know neighbors to build new friendships, values treasured across great faiths, and offering hope in challenging times.
The end of the Second World War is now remembered by fewer and fewer of us as the years pass. But the courage and sacrifice of our servicemen and women, and the way communities came together in the face of such great challenge, carry a timeless message for us all. These are the values which have shaped our country and the Commonwealth. As we hear of division, both at home and abroad, they are the values of which we must never lose sight.
The broadcast watched by millions across the United Kingdom and the Commonwealth comes amid ongoing global conflicts and domestic challenges. In Abuja, the nation's capital, this year's Christmas church services resonated with messages of hope, unity, and the need for national coexistence. Christians converged on various worship centers to reflect on the true meaning of the season. Omenka Marachuku tells us more.
Celebration for the faithful commemorating the birth of Jesus Christ. The Archbishop of the Methodist Church Nigeria, Most Reverend Michael Akinwale, enjoined Christians to use this period to promote national unity.
It's going to be a dawn of a new era, and all the challenges that we are passing through will become a thing of the past. I strongly believe that Nigeria will survive.
For the Catholic Archbishop of Abuja, Most Reverend Ignatius Kaigama, his message centered on emulating the virtues of Jesus Christ.
We may be undergoing challenges of different kinds, but we know that the Lord is there. And that is why Jesus is called Emmanuel.
At the Church of Anglican Communion, Holy Cross, Abuja, Vicar Obom Nadi centered his message on love, peace, and unity of purpose.
The same baby that could not be accommodated in a comfortable guest room is now the one accommodating the whole world. But the problem we people have is that they celebrate the season. Our advice and encouragement and our word is that you celebrate the reason for the season.
At the Baptist Church, Reverend Tom Tokotare called on Christians to be Christ-like.
So as we celebrate Christmas today, just for us to have at the back of our minds that God came to sort our problems. Now, if the same problem is sorted out, every other problem is sorted out.
You must search for him. Deliberately search for him. Use valuable time to search for him. And when you find him, worship him and keep him.
Prayers were offered for sustainable peace, unity and development of the country. In Abuja, Omeka Marachuku, NTA News.
We are being joined now in the studio to discuss further on the birth of Jesus Christ. The senior pastor of Saints of Christ Assembly, Abuja, Dr. Martin Okosun. Well, Pastor Okosun, it's good to have you in the studio. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. God bless you.
And Merry Christmas.
Same to you.
All right. Now, beyond the fanfare that is associated with Christmas, what are the major significance of the birth of Jesus Christ to the Christian community?
Well, first of all, to really understand the significance of the birth of Jesus Christ is to go down the memory lane, down to creation. The first man that was created, Adam, was created by God and put in the garden. And with instruction gave it not to touch a particular tree in the garden, but he did so and disobeyed. And that one brought unto hardship to man. And by what he did, judgment was meted upon him instantly. The soul that sinners shall die. Then eventually, God was looking for a way because man lost his glory right there in the garden at Eden. And God immediately have to do a kind of sacrifice where he has to atone for the first man. It was just a tentative measure, then waiting. But he gave the man hope in Genesis chapter 3 verse 15 when he said that the seed of the woman is coming to bruise the head of the serpent, which means the coming of the Lord Jesus Christ. That is exactly what happened. Jesus Christ eventually came as was spoken by God and we prophesied by people like Prophet Isaiah chapter 5 verse 17. He came, and that was why the bite is significant, that he came to redeem mankind, to remove the sin that was committed and redeem mankind, brought man back to him, reconcile man back to himself. And that's what we are enjoying today by the grace of God.
Now, putting an end to hostility and achieving global peace is one message that has dominated the celebration across the globe. How important is this to the world?
Well, that is why every child of God that have known God, you discover that all the churches all over the world, they go through a lot of teaching that has to do with peace, that has to do with love, that has to do with compassion, that has to do with forgiveness. Where we're having a lot of problem today is unforgiveness, resentment, and all kind of terrible things people are doing. When you know God and God is actually with you by the Spirit of God, you can forgive. If we learn to forgive, if we learn to live with one another, I believe peace will be achieved all over the whole world. Resentment will be over, trouble and confusion will be over.
Now, in all this, while some are having in abundance to eat and drink, some others are simply hoping and praying for help. What's your message to Christians in regards to sharing with their neighbors this season?
Well, sharing is good. We share what we have, and people do eat. But we are looking for a long-term measure. And that long-term measure is what we are telling people, that one, as a child of God, you don't need to be idle. Even if you are everybody all over the world, you don't need to be idle. You need to be proactive in doing what we give, put food on your table. When you begin to do that one, I believe that issue of scarcity, people have not to eat, will be over. We even, especially the area where now we try to encourage people to learn trade, that we give them something to be doing. And once you have a trade, you will not suffer anything. You will not be looking at people who have and begin to get jealous over what they have. And you want to kill, you want to destroy, to have what you didn't labor for. We encourage people to be doing something and not to be lazy. And surplus will be over for every one of us.
Well, thank you so much, Dr. Martin Okosun, a senior Pastor of the Saints of Christ Assembly, thank you so much for finding our time to join us on the news. You're welcome.
God bless you. Thank you.
Now, President Bola Tinubu has called on Christians to demonstrate the love of Christ, grace, hope, peace, and goodwill to humanity as they celebrate Christmas. In his message to Nigerians, the president notes that beyond the celebration and festivities of this season, Christmas remains faithful to reflect on the significance of Jesus Christ's birth and his message of salvation as the Prince of Peace. As your president, I remain committed to doing everything within my power to enshrine religious freedom in Nigeria and to protect all people of different faiths from violence. For those who bring hope and faith in the midst of despair, this season is a reminder that despite daunting challenges, God is with us, the president said. Children took center stage at the end-of-year celebration organized by the management of the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA, Channel 5, as the station embraced the spirit of Christmas with fun-filled activities for the young and the young at heart. The colorful event, designed to create lasting memories for children, brought together staff, families, and members of the public, with games, gift-giving, and moments of shared happiness that reflected love, unity, and goodwill. Suleiman Abdul Wahab reports.
Colorful end-of-year gathering was a moment of reflection, gratitude, and shared joy as NTA Channel 5 opened its doors to people from all walks of life.
The children we have here, they are more than 200. They are not from the same family, they are not from the same state, they are not from the same town, they are not from the same community. But they played together, they danced together, they sang together, they ate together, they held, they held hands. So I think this is the spirit that we all need.
The celebration attracted past and present managers of the station, staff members and their families, government officials, non-governmental organizations, vendors, and children from internally displaced persons camp.
Enjoy your Christmas celebration and don't eat too much and don't play too much.
NTA Channel 5 has lived up to expectations, if not beyond. Because the slogan is the station for unity, and it has unified everybody. You can see all members of all faiths are here represented.
You can see the children are excited, they are all happy. Many of them now know the meaning of Christmas, and it's a great thing.
The event featured musical and moments of interactions that highlighted the values of togetherness, inclusion, and appreciation for the year gone by.
Everybody give me an N, give me a T, give me A, DPP.
Today is all about love, sharing, kindness, and forgiveness.
I want to appreciate the general manager for what she has done. Very good, very interesting, and making the children, the Nigerian children will look forward to this every year.
As the year draws to close, the NTA Channel 5 end-of-year party stood as a reminder of the power of unity, compassion, and shared celebration values that continue to define the station's relationship with its audience. In Abuja, Suleiman Tobu Abdul Wahab, NTA News.
Now, thousands of women and youths are ending 2025 in joyous mood in Sabon Gidan Jaba local government area of Kaduna State, following a special Christmas empowerment initiative facilitated by a philanthropist, Caleb Danladi, in an effort to improve their lives.
The empowerment initiative, which coincided with the Christmas season, is one of the many programs initiated in 2025 to bring succor to thousands of people in the benefiting communities. This event is a climax of those initiatives, which saw 1,000 women, including widows, going home with cash support on household items, as well as health insurance package and cash for the elderly and retirees, while 3,000 youths received donations for school fees and examination enrollment in a broad community development campaign of Dr. Caleb Danladi, which also covers medical outreach.
2015 that are expanded to youth development, community development, and also STEM education in 2020. Doing it out of humanity. I'm supporting humanity to see how people can achieve their dream in life, to see how the hopeless will have hope.
Apart from the beneficiaries, religious leaders and traditional rulers attended the event, which they describe as so lifting and impactful.
God-sent person. It's not like, just as one of our chiefs said, not like the politicians, that they will go and get to come and give us. No, he is waiting. It is out of his pocket, out of his sweat, that he always give out to widows. And we really say he is a God-sent person.
While the empowerment may be a special Christmas package for the beneficiaries, the overall impact on their lives and communities is what excites the donor more. Kelvin Ewunwaye, NTA News.
Now, the Yuletide season is a period both corporate and individuals show kindness and display acts of goodness to people around them. It is in the mood of these celebrations that the Eros gathered friends and relatives to celebrate and display their human milk by extending hands of fellowship to others as they celebrate. Adaobi Obiechina reports.
In a world where birthday celebration often revolve around closely timed events like twins, triplets, or couples, the Aros family has taken the concept of celebrating birthdays to an entirely new level. Instead of celebrating their children's birthdays on their individual days, they decided to merge 7 birthdays spread across different months, days, and even years into one grand, coinciding with the Yuletide.
So that they will grow up to be good citizens of Nigeria and they will be good children, at least. And other children that are here, can learn from them. It's like creating an impact spiritually in their lives.
And I want every child that is connected to my children, to our children, to know God, to be influenced positively, so that when they mingle with them, they will influence their lifestyle and will not have any cause to look back.
Unforgettable occasion with no connection other than sheer bond of family. This unique celebration has become a testament of creativity, unity, and the joy of coming together, no matter the calendar dates. From cake-filled table to unforgettable games and moments, the Aro family turned the concept of milestone into a joyful family-wide celebration.
And I'm really happy. Thank you so much for making my day. Thank you, because you really you showed me love today. You did well today. Thank you.
This adore God. We thank God for everything I've done upon this family. We're thankful for the gathering, and we thank for the people that comes. It was really suitable for me, and I pray it's going to be something of
to be celebrated among my siblings. You understand, for not counting me out, despite me being the sister of the mother of the children.
The celebration is a reminder that birthdays don't need to follow traditional patterns to become meaningful. Their unconventional approach not only brought together 7 special moments in one day, but also showcased the power of family unity and the joy that comes from celebrating life's milestone in an unexpected ways. The story encourages others to think outside the box and find their own unique ways of celebrating the ones they love, whether near or far, on any given day of the year. Adobe Obiechina, NTA News.
Now, the Joint Task Force Northeast Operation Hadinkai has attributed the bomb blast at Gamboru Market in Maiduguri to suspected Boko Haram terrorist suicide bomber who detonated an improvised explosive device, killing himself and 2 civilians on the scene. A statement by Media Information Officer JTF Northeast OPHK Lieutenant Colonel Sani Uba says troops of Operation Hadinkai, in conjunction with the Nigeria Police Explosive Ordnance Disposal EOD team, other sister security agencies, Borno State Government and NEMA, responded promptly secured and cordoned off the affected area to prevent further harm and ensure public safety. This is where we end the news. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Justin Bemu.